Good Gold Rush Tuesday morning. Yeah, Gold Rush. There's gold rush there in them hills. You ever heard that saying? Yeah, you think about it, a few hundred years ago, there's gold in those hills. And what were people doing but scrambling to go find some gold? Well, for me today, there just may be some gold in that barn over there. Yeah, look at this hat. What's this hat say today? Is that the Hellcat symbol there? Badging? Yeah, I've worn this hat a long time, right? Well, why haven't I? I don't have a Hellcat. Yeah, hard to believe. You think about where I came from, the Mopar guy growing up. Chevy, not Ford. I'm not lying. Nope, not a Ford guy. What happened? I mean, come on. Toyota. I was a Toyota guy. I loved Toyota growing up. I just loved Toyota. Yeah, I found the Toyota product in California when I was just a kid. 1972, I'd have been 9 years old. So little kid, I just loved that little Toyota car. That FJ Cruiser is what I wanted my dad to get, but he didn't have that type of money back then in the 70s. Yeah, so if you look here, it's a Ford lot, you know? I'm sure anybody watching my YouTube channel, like, your Ford lots has shrunk. It has. My Ford lot has shrunk. I have shed a lot of debt and a lot of cars. And you know what? Sincerely, if I'm smart, I'd keep going. I just think the guy that has the cash will be king. I truly believe that. I think we're in a economic world cyclone that's going to change on you faster than you think. And you know what? If you knew how bad it was, then you'd know. And you wouldn't get caught with your pants down, right? I mean, how many times have you seen this play out in the world where overnight everything comes to a grinding halt? Because the media doesn't want to tell you the reality of what's really going on. But hey, I don't know. You know, not the doom and gloom day. This is the gold rush day. So anybody kind of tuning in here today, this morning. Yeah, what's this video this morning? And it's going to be a two-part video day because I've got some gold being delivered to my house. Yeah. You know, and where we are in economic times, if somebody knew where I lived and I said I was having gold delivered to my house, I don't know. I just may have some company I don't want. I mean, there may be some people showing up that shouldn't be showing up because their perception is I got gold. There's me gold there in that barn, right? Yeah, you know, but sadly, the gold that I'm getting is a sought after gold vehicle that, yeah, they're being stolen more than ever before. Yes. If you're watching this channel and you have a Dodge Challenger and it's a Hellcat, you better be really aware that that car is sought after right now, and somebody's trying to steal it. I mean, I'm not lying. If you're watching my channel right now and you own a Hellcat, Charger or Challenger, even a Scat Pack, somebody's wanting that car, and if you put that car in the right place at the right time, it's gone. You think I'm kidding? This is not me just trying to embellish and think I'm some special guy advising you on how to take care of a car. I'm just telling you what I know and what I've witnessed in my own backyard of Hellcats being stolen. So, horny garage. I got a horny garage, and some of you be like, oh my gosh, so derogative, so nasty. What are you talking about? Yeah, horns back here, right? I mean, so it's the horny garage. Now, for those who follow my channel, they know I'm a Ford guy. You know, and I know. I mean, I sincerely understand. Hey, look at this here. They sent me a Ford Bronco little thing I need to hang up. Ford sends you all these little goodies. Because they so screwed up getting these Broncos to the market. That's a whole other story. But you know, anybody's watching my channel, I'd probably be like, dude, you got a GT500. You got another GT500. I mean, Jesus Christ, dude. You used to have two Broncos. I mean, oh my God. You got a Raptor. You know? Well, what the hell, dude? And now you're telling us you're getting a Gold Rush Challenger? You know? That's your next purchase? I mean, Jesus Christ, dude. It's ridiculous. I can't watch it anymore. Your channel just shows you buying cars all the time. Yeah, I hear you. But at the same time, I've actually sold a lot of cars. So, you know, that's playing out too. But here's the point. Anybody follow my channel be like, why do you want to get another Hellcat? I mean, you got two beautiful GT500s sitting here. I mean, what's that all about? Why are you going back to your Hellcat? I mean, right. Why am I doing that? I totally get. Where is the fixation on me buying back another Hellcat? This will be number 5. If I buy this Hellcat today, and for somebody tuning in, this is about a used 2021 Dodge Challenger wide body Hellcat package Redeye motor. This would be my second Redeye purchase Hellcat wide body Challenger as well. Had a 2019. Now I bought that brand new, but now I'm getting a 2021 used. And it's going to go with Carvana. It's the Carvana buying experience day that I'm sharing with you today on my channel. So yeah, I get it. You know, why the heck, you know, didn't you just sell your Redeye like June of last year? Yes, I did. Yeah, I and sincerely, it was because the pandemic, you know, it's incredible how the pandemic played out in this country. There are so many businesses that made so much money during the pandemic. But yet then there was so many other people that incurred incredible financial hardships. And you don't really hear about that. I mean, that is so swept under the bridge, or swept under the rug, I should say. That's pretty silly, isn't it? Water under the bridge, swept under the bridge. Hey, look who's my guard dogs. They're violent. They're violent. Come on, get up here. So look here. Look at the theme of my office. It's Mopar. In Indian. You know, it's not really Ford. It's Jeep. Okay. So, if you kind of like came in the office, you'd be more like, dude, you're a Mopar guy. You are such a Mopar guy. Like, right. I am a Mopar guy. A Jeep guy. Huge Jeep guy. Look, Duster, Super B. Okay. Look at my pictures on the wall, on my wall over here. That's 1983. If I can get the glare out of it. 1971 Cuda. 340, 355 rear, pistol grip, manual transmission. But remember I was talking about trucks? That's 1983. You know, that was really my favorite thing. To the point, I sold that vehicle to be able to have that vehicle. That's a used Chevy, but my true beginnings was another Chevy Stepside 1978. That was an 81 Chevy. So, you know, I talked about this other day about trucks. So I sacrificed that for that, okay? So my real beginnings was the Chevrolet truck. I always loved the Chevrolet Corvettes. But at the same time, I was always a Mopar lover, okay? So, you know, look around. So that's my, you know, the majority of my office is Mopar. It's not Ford. Have you seen one Ford sign up here in my office yet? Sincerely. Is there one Ford sign in my office? There's not. There is downstairs. There's a Ford Mustang picture of my GT500 that I had personally done. Okay. But otherwise, so yeah, the reason I bring that up, because I'm part of the Mopar community, and a lot of guys think I just, you know, became a trader, you know. I've abandoned the Hellcat, the Mopars, I sold all my Rams, I sold all my Jeeps, sold all my Dodges, and what started all of it was the Ford Raptor. Ford Raptor truck kind of got me turned to the Ford brand. You know, if you don't know, is Ford, I have a business, I have a company, so I have business vehicles. And Ford Motor Credit has such a better program buying vehicles. Dodge is ruthless. Chrysler Capital, I do not like Chrysler Capital. They have no sympathy for you. They're not compassionate. They don't want to work with you. When I was going through the pandemic, through incredibly challenging times, yeah, I was a guy that had to sign up for I can't pay my car payments anymore. Yeah, I need 3 months no car payments anymore. My company got destroyed. my revenues went to half overnight when the pandemic shut down. So eventually, you have to raise your hand and say, the monies don't come in. I tell people all the time, people think I'm some rich ass guy. I'm not. I am not. I'm just a guy that's crazy that does everything he can to buy cars. And yeah, I mean, if I was smart, yeah, you wouldn't know me. What YouTube channel would I have in all reality? I wouldn't have a YouTube channel. What would it be about? Or hell, look at me. I've got millions in bank accounts, and I wear special clothing and jewelry, and I travel the world and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, okay, whatever. No hate to anybody who has that in their life, but that's not me. I'm the guy that I talk about the passion for cars. And, if you watch my videos and at the car shows that I go to, like yesterday, I was sitting in my Raptor tinted, you talk to people at their vehicle and you just feel the emotion that comes through their love and their passion of their car. And it's huge. I mean, it's huge. But on the other side, there are some people that could care less about a car. They don't give a crap. I hate to use the foul language here, but that's the facts. There's many, many people, they're not addicted to cars. They want nothing to do with it. They have some other addictions. Everybody has a challenge. Everybody has something that drives them, good and bad. So yeah, so today, this is about the Gold Rush Carvana experience. And for me, it's just crazy in how this has come to play. Being more than ever with Dodge announcing that they're going to end the day of the Hellcats being built after 2023, the Dodge product is getting a lot of attention, and the Hellcats are getting a ton of attention. If you own a Hellcat right now, and it's in good shape and low mileage, you may have a $100,000, $150,000 car. And some people are like, oh, no. It's happening. People are starting to wake up and realize the heyday of all these muscle cars is going to disappear. And what's going on is an individual will pay good money for a low mileage Hellcat because they know that car they just paid good money for isn't going to lose value. Now keep in mind, guys aren't going to pay $200,000 for your Hellcat, but a guy that has a 2016 Hellcat with low mileage that he paid $62 for, can he get $80 for it right now? Probably. $70, yeah. So is he going to get $100 for it? I don't see that number yet. But like in my car, it's a 2021 Hellcat wide body Challenger, and it's optioned out with just about every option except the sunroof. It's a $95,000 car. I did a little thing the other day looking at the MSRP of my 2019 to 2021, and it wasn't as radical as I thought on the pricing. I thought that the pricing between the two would be pretty radical, that Dodge really bumped the prices, but it's 2021. So keep that in mind. 2021 last year, the inflation was kind of getting, going, and the car pricing was kind of getting going, but, more than ever now, 2022, we're witnessing where it's getting crazy of what you're spending to buy stuff. So, for my Redeye, I'm paying $94,999 for a $95,000 car. So I'm paying MSRP for a car that a person probably in 2021, they may have gotten a deal on that. They may have gotten that car for $10,000 off. I'm not really sure about that. So for me, yeah, I'm paying sticker for it. And some be like, well, that's stupid. Well, it may be. Yeah, I don't deny that. I do not deny. I could be. Yeah, that's not. And for me, so many years ago, to pay MSRP, I mean, we know. Everybody's like, no way, I ain't doing that. I'm going to go find the deal. So, there are deals out there. There probably are. I'm sure someone watching my YouTube channel is like, oh, man, I found a used Redeye from a guy, and he paid $90 for it, and I got it for $70. Yeah, I'm sure that's possible. In this D.C. metro area I live in, it's a different market. I mean, I've already done my research. I've gone to Kuhn's, Tyson's Dodge, Tyson's Corner, And they had a nice 2019 Redeye wide body with like 27,000 miles. And I think that car sold for like 78 grand. So that's not bad. You know, that guy, and it went to Delaware. So there, but it's a 27,000 mile car. That's a lot of miles for a car that is a future valuable car. Once you start getting over that 10,000 mile mark, you know, really, if you want to try to keep your car valuable, you better keep it under 5,000 miles. You better keep it at 500 miles a year, maybe 1,000. That's, you know, that's respectable. But you start putting thousands of miles on it now, it's people are going to look for something else. That'll be the last choice. Coons Tyson's Dodge is telling me you can't order the Redeye. When can you? We don't know. Okay, and remember, for those out there that aren't the Dodge passionate person, the knowledge, the Redeye is a Dodge Hellcat. So a Dodge Hellcat, wide body, Challenger, Redeye to a Hellcat, it looks exactly the same. For the most part, it is. But then the Redeye gives you the Demon motor package. And it gives you some other, the chiller. And this is where I would not want to say I know for sure, but the chiller package on it for the cool down of the motor if you're tracking it. Does the regular Hellcat? Probably has that option. I would think so. But the biggest thing is the Redeye has the Demon motor. So the Demon motor, as we know, on all the proper settings and race gas and whatever else, you're at 840 horsepower. Otherwise, it's 808. And the Redeye 797. So it's just a detuned Demon motor. But it's a Demon motor. It's a block. It's a black block. So you look over the hood, and there's an orange block underneath that Hellcat hood. That's not a Demon motor. Or, yeah, some guy painted orange. It's not the Hemi orange. So it's, you see Hemi orange underneath a guy that has a Redeye badge. And people do this stuff. There'll be a guy that'll buy a Redeye badge. And what I mean by that is the Hellcat symbol here, the Redeye identification for the Hellcat is this, your badge, but it has a little red eye on that Hellcat. So that's the identification. Somebody easily can put one of those on their car, take one off, glue the other one back on, and can say they have a Redeye. But if you're the enthusiast, when the guy opens the hood and you see a Hemi orange motor inside that car, he's lying. It's not the Demon motor. It's not the Redeye. It's just, a guy's trying to make it look like he's got the Redeye. So, there's a little information for you that separates right there out of the box what separates, those Redeye cars versus the non-Redeye. And right now, there's no doubt in my mind, the Redeye is a low production car. It's going to be sought after much more than the regular Hellcat. Why? Well, because it's the Demon motor. It's the more powerful engine. It's the unique one. It's just like the Demon. Those are sought after. They get good money. The Super Stock, that is a sleeper car. That, in my eyes, is already worth $150 if you have one with very low mileage. I mean, no lie, $125. But those are $100,000 cars. So it's not like that was a $70,000, $80,000 car. That was like a $100,000 car, by my knowledge. Maybe 80s, but it's not 70s. Not in today's market. So for me, this will be my number 5 Hellcat since 2016. Had a plum crazy Challenger Hellcat over the first one. Then I got the Redline Charger 2016. And then I sold those. And then I went back and I got the 2019 Octane Red Challenger wide body Redeye. Beautiful car, beautiful car. And even for me last June, it was just a point where I had 16 months of incredible challenges of financial hardships. And I've been down the road. People don't know my story. They don't know I've gone broke. I've gone broke numerous times. In the early 90s, a terrible situation. In 2008, the worst ever situation in my life. And why? Because I'm a risk taker. I'm a guy. The risk taker guys have stories. The non-risk taker people, some are very successful that know how to do things and smarter than me. And yeah, I get all that. I mean, that's just how life is. Some of us just know how to navigate life better than others. Most don't. So For me, I really don't want to be caught up in that downturn of this economy and me sucking wind and me having things taken back that creates, my financial hardships and ruins my finances. And what's really interesting here is, I tell people, pray for a miracle. I have a whole pray for a miracle video that talks about pray for a miracle. And I go into kind of a little bit more detailed in depth of what that video means. So it's well worth your time if you're a godly person to watch that video. And here's something you have to think about. So for me, when my company got destroyed during the pandemic, and the financial hardships were incredibly challenging, as I just told you, I was the guy that had to sign up for the no car payments. When you have 30 vehicles, think this through. Between cars and trucks and motorcycles, if you think about how many vehicles, I'm not embellishing here. I had like 31 vehicles. Yeah, 24 of my cars and trucks. That's the fact if you go back over a year ago. Yes. If you factor insurance, personal property tax, car payments, what type of debt do you think that is? That's a car. I'm a used car dealership lot paying debt. It's massive. So I had but no choice to look in the mirror and say, it's over. The pandemic has totally rewritten the transportation model. I've talked about that in great length in a lot of my videos. And now more than ever, the remote working from home has changed the whole dynamics of the transportation sector. And it's destroyed a lot of businesses where people don't drive to work anymore. That businesses downtown that were, right next to the big office building where everybody drove in every day to get their coffee and get their lunch and get their dinner and do their activities, those guys are gone. Manhattan is a ghost town. Manhattan's being revitalized into condos and apartments. The whole business sector has been destroyed. So I'm part of all that. So eventually I had to say, okay, it's over. And I had to start selling my cars. In my most lovable cars, my GT500. I've talked about it over and over again. I got that car pre-pandemic, before the pandemic started. Car's built on my mom's birthday. I bought it on my birthday, and I got a really good deal on that car. And I had to let it go. I had to raise my hand. Okay, so, if there's going to be a better day down the road, it'll be. The Challenger, wide body Redeye, I had to let it go. My Raptor, I had to let it go. My Supra, I had to let it go. I can just go through the list of cars that I had to let go. I had to downsize. Okay, whatever. No crying for me. I get it. You have too many cars as it is. Okay, I get it. It's not a sob story. It's just telling you how things happen. And what I'm radiating back to you is, you have to think about it. The state of Virginia, even car dealerships, even bankers don't know this information. That they made a law during the 2020 year to be enacted in 2021. No financial recourse of repossessed vehicles. So, if you're an individual that you've gone broke, you've overextended yourself in all your debt, and your car is worth $30,000 and you owe $40,000 on it, and you can't make the payments anymore, and they come take it away, the state of Virginia, as long as you're a Virginia resident, state of Virginia says no financial recourse. The banker or the automotive finance company, whoever financed your car, they cannot go after you for that debt. Wow. Think about that. That's huge. And as far as I know, that law is still in place. But what you have to say to yourself is, why did the state of Virginia create a law during the pandemic that protected the citizens of the state of Virginia from financial hardships on repossessions? Why did they do that? What was going on down in Richmond? You have no idea how many times I called down to Richmond, and I called for senators. They never, ever called me back. They never responded. I inquired about that bill, what that's all about. Nothing. Goose egg. Zero. They don't give a crap. They don't give a crap. I'm not a lobbyist. I'm not calling the guy to say, hey, man, I got $1 million for you, and if you do this for me, I'm going to give you $1 million donation. That's what the whole politics ball game is. Anybody here fighting for somebody sitting on the hill, you're foolish. You're foolish. You're supporting a business behind the scenes, paying all these people massive amounts of money to get agenda to them, to what they want to accomplish. Wow, anybody wake up to the green agenda? The right people are on the hill right now where the green agenda can pay them off to get things moving. Hello, and when the next administration comes in, big oil will be back, maybe. I don't know. They're getting pretty pissed off. They're pissed off all the oil companies, and they start just abandoning pumping more oil. How's that all going to play out? Yeah, borderline. It's being pushed to that extent. So, yeah, those people, who's paying them off? Lobbyists. Does anybody understand that the pharmaceutical and medical industry has the most lobbyists downtown D.C.? Thousands of people, rubbing shoulders to get things accomplished for their businesses. Hello. All right, so here's the thing. This is discussions of my buying yet another car. And the reason I'm bringing up all this other stuff is it's called risk. Right now, for me, you have no idea how I've woken up at 2, 3 in the morning. I mean, and that's something to talk about. You have no idea my lifetime. And I'm not looking for sympathy. I'm trying to relate to you. Anybody that makes a financial decision, and it's kind of a risky financial decision. Who sleeps at night? I mean, do you sleep at night? When you go out and buy something that you kind of know, you're kind of like, I really want this, but I really know deep down I really shouldn't get it, but I really want it. So you go ahead and go buy it, but it puts a strain on your finances. Who sleeps? How do you handle that? I mean, that's a big, big problem, and it's massive. So, more than ever, there's the kid, and there's the dogs. There's the kid getting the GT Mustang. As she heads to school, that's a whole other discussion. What's going on in our colleges and high school and grade school, individuals trying to change the way our kids think. It's sad. My daughter comes home and she tells me what these professors are trying to train her to be, and just I didn't want to send my kid away to college, and I didn't, and I'm not. I truly believe by the time she come home, she'd be a different person and brainwashed. So I'm leaving my kid at home. Yeah, so okay, but she has an option. If she really wants to go away, she can, but I don't see that happening. She's starting to see the light of what individuals try to do, and it's just incredible. I'm not going to even get going on that. It's just going to be a lousy YouTube hateful channel video. So back to, you go out and you buy something, and then you second guess yourself, and you don't feel good about it, and you don't sleep. You have no idea how many times I've bought cars, and I don't sleep. But you know what? I've done it so much now, that doesn't really exist. It isn't as much. It doesn't happen as often, because I've been through so many hardships and good things, and I understand how to handle things as I've gotten older in life, and sadly, you just see people don't know how to handle things. Like yesterday, a man in a wheelchair in Queens, New York was run over by young girls fighting with each other, and got so out of control, and this young lady got in her car and went to run over the other girl she was fighting with. Emotions through the roof, and this poor guy just sitting in a wheelchair on the sidewalk gets run over and he's killed. So now this young lady, her life's changed. It's a sad story for everybody. So, but the point of that is, how do you handle your emotions? I talk about that all the time. Do you respond or do you react? Reaction's an explosion. So you're probably saying, geez, man, I thought this was about the Gold Rush, Carvana, Challenger, heyday, you're getting the gold, blah, blah, blah. And it is. But I'm a human being that has emotions and feelings, and I'm an idiot to realize what I'm doing is risky. And that's why I'm talking about all this stuff, because I know as an individual, you start pushing your luck. How far does your luck go? For me, how far do I go before all of a sudden you crash and burn? And that happens. And that's why what I'm explaining here is, more than ever, the muscle car era is coming to an end. The GT500, as I've mentioned many times, it's done. GT500, you can't buy them. You can't order them for 2023. I don't know if you can still order 2022. I don't know that. But for the most part, the GT500s, are done. So whatever's in the market for the most part is, and whatever's coming in the next few months, that's it. It's over. So, and as that word gets out more and more, tons of people are going to be jumping all over the GT500s. So the muscle car era between the GT500 and the Dodge Hellcats, I think more than ever, their values are going to appreciate, not depreciate. And that's my point, is I feel very confident I can buy this Challenger Gold Rush, and as I was telling you earlier about how I'm paying sticker for it, but yet going to Tyson's Dodge and seeing their inventory, which for the most part they only had a narrow body, but they wanted basically like $88,000 for that car, which I just wasn't excited about that. And the sticker on it was $89,000 if I remember right. And then my other friends at Kuhn's Baltimore Ford, they did search for me throughout the country. They found some really nice Hellcats, but nothing optioned out as well as this Gold Rush. This Gold Rush is optioned out to the hilt with the exception of a sunroof, and it's one of 34 Gold Rush wide bodies or Gold Rush paint schemes in the Hellcat Redeye, or the Hellcat in itself. So, and how many wide bodies, I have no idea. So very low production. So, but they were coming back with me at $110, $120. The $82,000 Frostbite, pretty car, cloth interior, like 82 grand, really stripped out. They want like a 100 plus. So for me, I came to closure that, for me to go buy the Hellcat right now at MSRP was still relatively low mileage, like 2,400 miles. It isn't real low mileage, but it's a 2-year-old car. So, well, is it 2021? And it'll be interesting to see the build date on that car. Meaning, was that car purchased like in September of 2020? And that would be like, that's pretty cool because then it's a 2-year-old car, because this is the end of August, and it's a 1,000-mile-a-year car. If the guy bought it at the end of 2021, then he did a lot of, whoever the gal, could have been a girl, woman, I have no idea. What's interesting, it was sold in Lexington, it was sold, I think, in Lexington, Kentucky, or it was sold in Kentucky, and then it was apparently bought, I think it was purchased in Richmond. And then it went to wholesale or something, I think. I'm not real sure about all that. So the Carfax shows me that. I could probably look that up for you. But anyways, so, it's going back to making financial commitments, financial decisions. And on that note, Carvana, I have a relationship with Carvana because my Toyota 400. There's a video on that from last year. Overall, good experience. Even though there's a lot of people that talk about how Carvana is going to be a challenge for you to get your title. It's going to be a challenge for you to get your registration. This is a conversation of mocking Carvana. There's many people out there that hate Carvana. And to me, it's like, I don't know. I mean, I think Carvana has its challenges. Carvana is a new business model. I think the automotive industry, the car dealer, brick and mortar guys don't like Carvana. I mean, I get all that. It's competition. It's people don't want to go to a car dealership and spend the whole day there. I mean, sincerely, when you go to a car dealership, you're going to be there 4 hours, if not 6 or 8 hours. Yes. How do I know? Yeah, how do I know? How does that all play out? Because the car people do not want to let you walk out the door. Business-wise, here's the thing. If you're a business person and you're in sales, that's been my career, is sales. Once a person walks out of that dealership, it's a 50-50 or maybe 20% chance they're coming back. So the dealership's position is they can't let you go, because they know if you second guess yourself, you're not coming back. So they will just be determined to make you stay there and stay there and stay there. They're not going to let you go. And so it just turns into an all-day event, unless you're just a person like, screw you, I'm walking out the door, which people do that. But at the same time, they know how to finagle the deal and drag it and drag it and drag it. And this isn't to belittle any of my friends in the car industry. It's to tell you the facts, the way you run your dealerships. And I have talked about it for years, that the car dealer brick and mortar style of business is ancient. It's historic. It's a disgrace because I know of so many salespeople that all they do is live at the car dealership. That's all they do. You know, there's car salesmen that make $150, $250 a year in sales, but they live there 6, 7 days a week. So if you factor, they're putting in 12, 14-hour days, and you factor that time 6, 7 days a week, these people are putting in 70, 80 hours a week sometimes. And okay, you're making $150, $250, but you live there. They have no other lifestyle. They're stuck because every time they want to leave town, a guy like me gives my sales guy a call that's interested in buying a car, and they want to be back in town to make sure they get the deal. They don't want to share it with their other sales guy. There's so many variables there. So the point is, Carvana is changing the business model to the brick and mortar style business. But what the irony to all this is, the irony to all this hate of the Carvana business model, and then years ago it was the hate of the CarMax, which is incredible. Ford is wanting to be like the Tesla. You know, as you know, Tesla wants to sell cars to you directly. They don't want a dealership. That's already known. But many states don't allow it. There's many states still do not allow Tesla to be sold in their state. The Automotive Dealer Association won't let it happen. They want nothing to do with it. So, same thing with Carvana. Carvana is an online sales transaction. And there's so many brick and mortar in the automotive dealers associations in this country that hate those guys. They want nothing to do with it because it's taking away from their business. But yet at the same time, Ford, Jim Farley, you know, not the comedian who actually passed away, he wants the whole business model very similar to Carvana, where you go on your computer and you make an online order and do an online transaction. And the Ford dealers are mad as heck about this idea. The salespeople are mad as heck. I get all that. They're wanting to change the footprint of the Ford product line sitting on dealers' lots, and I've talked about this so many times. The pandemic, it changed transportation sector. It changed the way people work. It's changed the way manufacturing is. The list goes on and on and on what this pandemic did. It's created a lot of good out of it. Created a lot of bad out of it as well. But at the same time, you know, the automotive industry sees how the dynamics of how people buy things is changing. And Ford's position is, which is a smart move. I mean, the sales guys and dealerships don't want to hear this, and I get that. It isn't anti-dealerships. If that was the case, why do I go to a dealership every month of my life and buy a car? Like, I don't support them. But the reality is, for the manufacturer, and this is where it's kind of tricky. It's the unions. You have union people in the automotive industry. UAW, United Auto Workers. It's massive. They have control of these big auto guys. Yes. So there's a fine line there where to appease these people that have to be paid because they get a lot of downtime, they get paid, no productivity. That's what drives the price of your cars through the roof. Yeah, right. No hate to the union guys, but that's the reality. So what happens is the manufacturer's borderline has to just keep on pumping vehicles out to take and appease your union workers and productivity. But they're realizing more than ever, the automotive industry just witnessed on how if they can control inventory in their lots, they get premium money. They get premium money. And dealerships get premium money. So the heyday of flooding your car dealers, lots with over inventory and then having to give everything away just to keep the unions happy, that attitude's changed, and it's changing. That's why Ford's position is, if you want a new car, you just order it. What's wrong? Usually people want new cars, think about it for a while. Yeah, there's a splurge, people. Yeah, look at me. But most people are like, okay, my car is 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 years old, whatever it may be, 5, 4. And, I think I'm going to get a new car. I hear this conversation all the time when talking to people. And, yeah, I think I'm going to get a new car, but I'm going to get until next year, blah, 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 blah. Okay, well, think about it. Ford's like, hey, that's great. Tell you what, why don't you place an order in January, and your car probably hit like in April or May. And so why don't you do an online order? And here's the good news, $100 deposit. If you decide that it's not good timing for you next spring to buy the car, it's not a problem. Refund your $100. We'll put the car on a lot, and it'll be sold to somebody else. Thank you very much. That's going on more than ever. As I've said, I can't believe if I was a salesperson in the car industry, and I was a Ford car salesman, I'd be calling every one of my customers all the time. Hey, put an order in, put an order in, put an order in, put an order in. Doesn't matter. It's $100 deposit. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. You can walk away from the deal. Doesn't matter. I'm just creating future car sales for either me or the dealership because I'm getting cars in. And don't get me wrong, not everybody's going to buy that or the car, but a lot of consumers don't know that. A lot of consumers don't realize Ford has gone to order online only. So this goes back full circle to Carvana. Carvana, to a degree, is order a car online. You're not getting a new car, but you're getting a used car. So what's really cool about Carvana is my Toyota 4Runner I bought last year, it was in New Mexico. And the car, once the whole deal was approved, they transported that car from New Mexico here to the vending machine in Gaithersburg, Maryland. And I went and did the whole Carvana, pick up the car at the vending machine, which is pretty cool. I enjoyed it. Great car. I love that 4Runner. No issues. It came, as they said, got my registration, la. So that's what I'm going back to is my Carvana is so hated by the automotive dealers associations in many states. You sometimes have to scratch your head. It's all rubbing shoulders. It's all who knows who. And you hear these horrible stories of people claiming they never get their registration for their vehicle, the plates are screwed up, the title's screwed up. Oh, is by any chance maybe in that state there's somebody in with the DMV that are buddies that are intentionally making Carvana transactions really difficult? I mean, I have no idea. That's kind of mentioned out there. Do I know it? I don't know. Would it surprise me? No. Oh, you mean you go to a car dealership at one place and they do dirty tactics to you? That happens? Oh, the DMV? Oh, they're clean as can be. They don't have a relationship with the Automotive Dealer Association. No, they wouldn't do anything like that to persuade people to go to Carvana. No way. That doesn't happen. Yeah, right. Wake up. Hello. So back to Carvana. The automotive industry is sitting back, and the big guys are saying, holy crow, this is a better business model. But the Ford dealerships and the franchisees that sell the brands, they don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear it. So it's a very challenging time. But more than ever, as we all know, the used car market is pretty much the market that we're in now. Even though yesterday I noticed that the Volkswagen line seems to have a pretty healthy amount of Volkswagens. What's that all about? Are people not buying Volkswagens? Or is Volkswagen more on top of the supply chain issues? I don't know. Jeep and Ram to me have a lot of product. I don't know. What's that all about? I mean, I'm up at Tyson Jeep. There are so many Gladiators and so many Jeep Wranglers. I didn't really look for a lot of the Ram trucks, 1500s. Not talking about so much about the 2500, 3500s, more like the 1500s. But what's that all about? And then yesterday, the same area I was in yesterday, same story. The Jeep Dodge, or I should say the Jeep Ram product line, seem to be very healthy. What's that about? Does Dodge have a better handle on that than other manufacturers? Because as we know, Ford's not shipping new inventory, so you don't really know that story because they're not shipping new inventory to car dealerships anymore. There is no inventory stock. It's all used cars. And Chevrolet and Cadillac dealers to me are extremely light. So what's their business model? So the irony to all this is all the hate against Carvana, but yet to a degree, that's what the car dealerships are now. They're a Carvana. It's just like I told you. Coons Baltimore Ford would go to Mississippi. They found a beautiful Frostbite wide-body Challenger, really nice, 2022, and the car was like an $88,000 car, and they would go to, and it had like 1,600 miles on it, and they were going to, but it didn't have leather. It had the Laguna leather package where it's cloth and leather together. So they were going to go to Mississippi. They were going to have a trucking company ship it up, and so but they wanted $110 for the car. So that's how much is that? That's 10. That's what, 22 grand more, right? Yeah, for the car. And I'm just like, no, because what people don't understand about me is I always have a card in the deck that I can play with. And so for me, if I buy a car that I know I can turn around and get rid of and get out of the debt, and I'd have to use the Virginia no recourse repossession. Yeah, okay, that's real. It's happening. Claim is repossessions are up 30% this year. I don't know. That's the claims. That's the talk. The talk is repo trucks are being built left and right at factories where guys are buying these things up left and right now. I don't know. That's when you hear these stories. Yeah, read everything, believe everything. Somebody tells you this stuff. So for me, the card is when I buy this Challenger Gold Rush, I feel like I have the option, if I have to, I can use it down the road for something else or just outright sell it. So, and that's what's so important more than ever for me is I want to be ready for the downturn because I think sadly the downturn's going to come. Hey, and you know what? I'm an individual in life. I wish no hardship on anybody. I do not gain one thing. I'm not some rich ass guy that has money. If you go default on your $500,000 home and it goes to the courthouse steps and it's bidded out at $250 or $300, I'm the guy there standing with a wad of money. That isn't who I am. No, I don't have that. That's not who I am. So this isn't a conversation about wishing harm on anybody. I'll be more than happy to raise my arm and say, oh my God, I was so wrong. And I'll be happy for that. Because if the economy kind of stays together and gets better, my business does better. The economy goes south, my business will be challenged. And that's why I'm talking about how I'm shedding debt, but yet here I'm buying another frickin' car. And if it wasn't for that unique Gold Rush car, I just can't get excited about any other car right now at this point. And you're probably like, what the hell does this car even look like? Let's take a look at it on the Carvana website. All right, so here it is. It's a 2021 Dodge Challenger. And their claim is it's $1,684. The value of the car is actually like $96,000. You read right here, they're saying that it's below Blue Book value. All right, so there's the car. What's really cool about it is it's got the black painted, it's painted, it's not a wrap. It's got the hood pins, it's a factory option. And it's a black top and a black trunk. Let's see if I can get the car to spin. Sometimes, okay, there it goes. Okay, so get it here to come around. Okay, so see the trunk, it's got a performance spoiler on it. Uh-oh, kid's calling me. This is never good. Oh, no, she hung up. Thank God. Kid be calling me, driving to school in a Mustang. This wouldn't be good. All right, so it's got the performance spoiler. And that whole black top, black trunk, black hood, that's a $3,500 special black satin finish. Then what Carvana does is it shows you here their imperfections of the vehicle. So on this car, it has 3 scratches basically. There's a scratch down there, and then apparently there's a scratch or paint blemish there. And they're usually accurate. And then when you go around the car, so if you take this, if I can get it to move, there's no more highlighted areas showing imperfections. Okay? So it's pretty cool on how you can do all this. And then I can come down here and I can go view interior. Okay, so then it shows nobody here. So then it shows the interior. And these Dodges, their leather to me is okay, but that shows to me that's for 2,400 miles. But I believe it because I've had these cars. If you look at the right side, look at that. Nobody's been sitting in the car, so no passengers. It's all been a driver, so a little bit of abrasion there. But other than that, the interior of the car, my computer screen's nice and dirty. You notice that? Yeah, it shows everything. So, so you can do a whole 360 with the car, and which is really neat. You can see up to the top. So anyways, that's what I look at. But what's also interesting is, I'll see here if I can get that to populate on how many people are behind me on this deal. So there's a little area here that shows people are actually, waiting for my car. And I was hoping to see that, but I'm not. I don't want to delay this video. Let me see if I can find it. Okay, so I did find it. So see here, 27 people have saved the vehicle. 533 views this week. So, to me, right there, my gut instinct is if I decide to cancel this deal, then it's going to disappear. That's that's what I think is going to happen. What's nice too is they have individual pictures, so you get to see a lot on the Carvana website. They share with you a lot of information. They share with you, all the details of the car, and you get to see the different angles of it. And I just think it's a really cool car. So there it is. So there's a little scratch, and then there's the other scratch, and then there's on the mirror, there's a imperfection. So they're full disclosure. Now, who knows between now and the time he gets here, what's going to be the real story? We all know that, right? So, but what's interesting is I thought every Redeye or every Hellcat I've had, there's 2 red keys, 1 black key. That's the valet key. So, was in 2021, did they only give you 1 red key and only 1 black key? Did Dodge cut back on, why do you need 2 red keys? I don't know. I don't know what's going on with that, which is kind of somewhat concerning, because to think that somebody has that car's other key, and they figure out where this car is, who knows? There's the trunk. So that's something I'll ask my Dodge dealer about once I actually get it. So I think this is a really good purchase. That I'm not going to lose anything. Here's the challenge. So I have to pay $3,500 in Virginia sales tax. So yeah, there's money you'll never get back. So for me, if I sell the car for $100,000, I didn't really get anything. But should I feel that I've made a mistake in my finances and I need to get rid of it and I get $100K, then I'm fine. If somebody came to me and offered me 125 grand for it, or do I put it in the market for 125 grand? 150? I don't know. I'm not at that stage. The stage I'm at right now is I want to buy the car. I want to enjoy the car and evaluate, and then I've got other cards in the shop below. The Shelby GT500 Heritage Edition, that is a car that I never even was fixated on. That was like the car gods conversation. Pray for a miracle. I mean, it would be crazy if I sold that car and made $100,000 off of it. That would be crazy. And yeah, would I do that? Oh, yeah, absolutely. If somebody told me I'll pay $100 grand over, sticker on that car, I'd be like, done. Come get it. Absolutely. I mean, no way. I'm not going to keep it. So just like the Dodge Hellcat Y-body Gold Rush, some guy offered me $50K over right now for it. Yeah, I'd take it. I'd be done. I'd be a fool not to. But at the same time, you have that passion for cars, and that's where you start. Your gut instinct, tells you what to do, but then the emotions overtake you, and then that's where you get yourself in trouble. All right, so lots of information on my morning Carvana conversations. This is part 1, and so then this afternoon, when the car comes, I'm going to do a whole other video, because it'll be the delivery of the car, and then it'll be a walk around the car. You'll be with me as I drive around the car, and then you'll see if I finally come to closure and go, okay, that's what's so cool about Carvana. And just for the record, with Carvana, typically they want a good amount of money down. That's why for me it's like, oh my God, who the hell wants to do this? But it's okay, because there's no doubt in my mind that, what I'm doing, I can turn around. I mean, for the record, I could probably drive to Coons, Baltimore, Ford, and they probably pay me for pretty much what I paid for it with the taxes. For what they're quoting me on other Redeyes, I mean, it's within reason. So the good thing about Carvana is
they do not take any money out of your account. They have not taken any money out of my account. What they have is they have a verifications funds of how much money you have to put down, and they attach that account to your deal, and they verify monies are there. And then once the deal goes down, once they sign the dotted line to take that car and the Carvana truck drives away, the transaction then is completed and they take my money. But they claim 7 days if I within 7 days, not, don't wait till after 7th day. The claim is 7 days to have the vehicle. If I'm unhappy with my purchase, they refund everything back. I haven't done that yet. I can't honestly say if they do that and they don't charge you something. I don't think they do. So anyways, I gotta go to work. Yeah, right. Yeah, I came out earlier in my office this morning to do this video, and I got lots of things to take care of. And later today, you'll see the continuation, or who knows, I may make another just video as I go somewhere else just to talk, right? Yeah, gotcha. All right, we will meet again this afternoon.